420, 460. That is it. $11.36. The rent is due in 2 days, and we are $400 short. Sarah sighed and rubbed her tired eyes. She sat on the old, worn-out carpet of their tiny apartment. "What are you counting, Mommy?" Mia asked. Her little 3-year-old voice was sweet and soft. "Just our coins, baby girl. Do not worry about it. Tell me about your picture." "Look at my drawing, Mommy. That is a house with a huge yard. It has yellow and red flowers along the walk. And that is us." 2 people holding hands in the doorway. Sarah looked at the drawing. She smiled, but her heart felt heavy. "It is beautiful, sweetie. That is us, Mommy. One day we will live in a house like this, right?" "Yes, baby, one day," Sarah whispered. She tried not to cry. "Mommy, what was that orange paper on our door today? The one you pulled down really fast?" Sarah looked away. "Nothing, baby. Just a piece of junk mail. It said something about having 72 hours to move out. But it was nothing. Go back to your drawing." Sarah walked to the kitchen and put her head in her hands. 8 job places had told her no this month. 8. They all said the same thing. "We do not have any open jobs. We need someone who has a special paper to show they went to nursing school. Can you work at night?" Sarah told them she could work at night. But then they asked the hardest question. "Do you have someone to watch your child?" No, she did not have anyone to watch Mia. That was the whole problem. She was all alone. "Mommy, why are you talking to yourself?" Mia asked from the other room. "I am not, baby. I am just thinking out loud." "You do that a lot, Mommy. You did it last night, too. You were sitting on the bathroom floor. The water was running in the sink, but I could hear you crying through the door." Sarah froze. "You heard that?" "I hear everything, Mommy. I just do not always talk about it." Sarah walked back into the living room and sat on the floor. "Come here, Mia. Let me hold you for a minute." She wrapped her arms around her little girl. "Are we going to be okay, Mommy?" "We are always okay, baby. We are always okay." Suddenly, Sarah's cheap cell phone started to ring. "Hello," Sarah answered. "Hello, Miss Jenkins. This is the Sunny Days Job Agency. We have one job open today." Sarah sat up straight. "I am listening. It is a job living inside a big house. You will take care of a very old man. He is 96 years old. His heart is very weak. His name is Clint Eastwood. He lives at the Big Eastwood Ranch in Carmel. The job gives you a free room to sleep in and free food to eat." "Live in? Free room and food?" Sarah could not believe it. "That is right," the lady on the phone said. "But I have to be honest with you. 14 workers have quit this job in 6 months. The last worker only stayed for 2 days." "What went wrong?" Sarah asked. "Clint Eastwood happened. He is very mean, Miss Jenkins. He does it on purpose. He does not want anyone to help him. He wants everyone to leave him alone so he can be sad in peace. And he is very good at making people run away." Sarah looked at her daughter. "Does the room have enough space for 2? "Excuse me? Tell me about your daughter." "I have a little girl. Her name is Mia. She is 3 years old. She is very quiet. She draws pictures. She reads little books. You will not even know she is there." The lady on the phone sighed. "Miss Jenkins, the rules for this job clearly say no children are allowed in the house. Clint Eastwood barely likes grown-ups. If he finds out you brought a child, he will kick you out right away. You will not get paid." Sarah swallowed hard. "I understand. Can we start tomorrow?" "Yes. We will see you there." "Mommy, who was that on the phone?" Mia asked. "That was our new life, baby. We are going to live in a big house. Mommy got a new job." "A big house? Like in my drawing?" "Even bigger than your drawing, sweetie." "Will there be a beautiful garden?" "I think so." "Will there be a nice man living there?" Sarah sighed. "We will find out. Go pack your bags, sweetie." "What about my dress with the flowers on it? The one that is getting too short for me?" "Pack it. We are taking everything we own." "Good," Mia said with a big smile. "The flowers make me feel fancy, Mommy." "I know they do, baby. I know they do." The next morning, they took a long bus ride to Carmel. They walked up a huge driveway. The house was giant. It was made of stone and dark wood. "Mommy, look at this place. It is so big. Mia spun around in circles. But why are all the windows covered? Why are the curtains closed? And the garden? Everything looks dead. Shh, baby, hold my hand tightly. The water fountain does not have any water in it. It is all green and yucky inside, Mia pointed. Mia, you must be quiet now, Sarah whispered. An older woman with a strict face opened the front door. I am Mrs. Higgins. I take care of the house. You must be worker number 15. I am Sarah Jenkins, and this is my... Follow me, Mrs. Higgins said quickly. She did not even look at Mia. Do not touch anything. Do not open any doors in the long hallway. And when you meet Mr. Eastwood, do not let anything he says hurt your feelings. He says terrible things because he wants you to cry and leave. Every single person before you made the same mistake. They let his words hurt them. I understand, Sarah said. Notice there are no pictures on the walls, Mrs. Higgins said as they walked down the dark hall. He took them all down 10 years ago. He is a famous movie star and director, but he does not want to see any of it. This house has 4 workers, and not one of us has ever heard him laugh. Not even once. Mia squeezed her mom's hand. Mommy, it is so dark in here, and so big. Where is the nice man? This is his door, Mrs. Higgins said. They stood in front of a heavy wooden door. Second floor, at the very end of the hall. Sarah looked down at Mia. Baby, wait right here with Mrs. Higgins, okay? Mommy will be right back. But I want to come inside with you. I know, just wait here. Draw me something pretty. Sarah gave Mia her crayons. Sarah took a deep breath and knocked on the door. She slowly pushed it open. The room was pitch black. The curtains were tightly shut. Mr. Eastwood, I am Sarah Jenkins. I am your new... I know what you are. A deep, rough voice growled from the corner. Close the door. Sarah closed the door. It is very dark in here, sir. Would you like me to open the curtains and let some sun in? I said I know what you are. I did not ask for your help decorating my room. I am here to help you, Mr. Eastwood. I do not need your help, the old man grumbled. He sat in a wheelchair in the darkest corner. Especially not from you. Look at you. That gray uniform is 2 sizes too big for you. Those shoes have holes in the bottom. Look at your hands. You have been scrubbing floors your whole life. They are sending me poor charity cases now. Sarah stood up straight. I am here to do a job, sir. You will be gone by Thursday, Clint Eastwood sneered. They always leave. Worker number 8 lasted 4 days. Worker number 12 cried in her bedroom before lunch. Worker number 14 was a giant woman. The agency promised she was tough. She walked out of here at midnight without even packing her bags. What makes you think you are any different? I do not have anywhere else to go, Sarah said quietly. Clint pointed a long, bony finger at a small table. My medicine is on that table. Bring me water, no ice. And if you touch the picture frame on that table, you are fired. The picture lying face down. Did I stutter? No, Mr. Eastwood. I will get your water. Sarah poured the water and handed it to him. She did not look at the picture frame. She quietly left the room. When she stepped into the hall, Mia ran up to her. Mommy, are you okay? I drew you something while you were inside. Look, it is the man in the wheelchair. He is looking out the window. I wrote some words at the bottom. See? It says, sad man. Sarah sighed. Why did you write that, Mia? Because that is what he is, Mommy. I could tell just by hearing his grumpy voice through the door. The next morning, Sarah brought Clint his coffee. This coffee tastes like dirt, Clint growled. Is this what you drink in your cheap apartment? I will make a fresh pot right now, Mr. Eastwood, Sarah said calmly. She began to fold his blankets. You fold towels like a baby, Clint snapped. And I asked for total quiet in this room. Your breathing is too loud. I will try to breathe quieter, sir. Clint glared at her. It has been 3 weeks. That is longer than most people stay. But you will break. You will give up. They all do. Is there anything else you need right now, Mr. Eastwood? I need you to leave me alone. Can you do that? Sarah nodded and left the room. She left the door open just a tiny crack. 10 minutes later, Mia was walking down the hall. She saw the open door. She peeked her little head inside. Hi, Mia whispered. Clint Eastwood jumped in his wheelchair. What? Who are you? How did you get in my house? I am Mia. I live downstairs. Your door was open. Are you sick? You should not be in here, Clint said loudly. Children are not allowed in this big house. Mia walked right into the room. She was not scared at all. Why is it so dark in here? Do you not like the warm sun? Because I like it dark. You should go away right now. Go find whoever brought you here. Mia tilted her head and looked at him. You look very sick, and you look really sad. Are your kids coming to visit you today to play? Clint looked away. His voice got a little softer, but it was still rough. My children do not come here. Nobody comes to visit me. I would rather be all by myself. Mia sat down right on his expensive rug. That is okay. I will stay with you. I brought my crayons. Your mother is going to be very angry, Clint warned. My mommy is doing the laundry downstairs. I will be very quiet. I am just going to draw. I told you to go away. I am drawing, Mia said. I will be quiet. Clint sighed loudly. Did you hear me? I said, shh. I am trying to think. Mia kept coloring. After a few minutes, she asked, guess what I am drawing? You ask too many questions, Clint said. You will see when I am done. No peeking. I am not peeking. I am just trying to understand why a tiny child is sitting on my rug and refusing to leave my room. I have made strong grown men walk out of this room crying. Mia looked up. That is because grown-ups care too much about the mean words people say. I do not care. My mommy says mean words only hurt you if you let them inside your heart. Clint stared at the little girl. Your mother sounds like a very smart woman. She is the smartest person I know in the whole wide world, Mia smiled. She can count our pennies faster than anyone, and she never burns our oatmeal in the morning. She sounds wonderful, Clint muttered. Well, almost never. Okay, I am done. Look! Mia stood up and walked over to his wheelchair. She held up her paper. That is you in your chair, and that is me standing right next to you. Do you see the big yellow sun? And I wrote some words at the bottom. See? My friend Clint. That is you, and that is me. We are friends now. Clint frowned. We are not friends. I do not even know you. Sure, we are friends. I am sitting right here with you, am I not? Nobody else is sitting with you. Clint opened his mouth to yell at her, but then he stopped. The corner of his mouth twitched. Ha, you smiled. Mia clapped her hands. I saw it right there. The corner of your mouth went up. That counts, Mr. Clint. I did not smile, Clint said quickly. I do not do that. You just did it again. My mommy says every single smile counts. Even the tiny little ones. Mia grabbed her crayons. I am coming back tomorrow, Mr. Clint, and the day after that, and every single day after that, because nobody should have to sit in a dark room all alone. Why? Why would you do that? Clint asked. He sounded confused. Because that is what good friends do, Mia said simply. See you tomorrow, Mr. Clint. She ran out of the room. Clint sat in the dark for a long time. Then he yelled, Mrs. Higgins! Mrs. Higgins, come up here! Mrs. Higgins ran up the stairs. She looked scared. Yes, Mr. Eastwood, what is wrong? There was a child in my bedroom. Did you know there was a tiny child living in my house? Mrs. Higgins swallowed hard. She knew Sarah would get fired. I will handle it right away, sir. See that you do, Clint grumbled. Mrs. Higgins turned to leave. Then she looked back. Sir, what is that paper on your lap? Clint quickly covered Mia's drawing with his hand. Nothing. Get out. The next afternoon, Mia sneaked back up the stairs. Mr. Clint, my teacher said my name wrong again today in school. She called me Maya. I told her my name is Mia, and then a boy named Tommy took my pink eraser. It is the third time this month. I think he likes me. My mommy says boys act weird when they like you. Clint just watched her. You never talk, Mia said. That is okay. I can talk enough for both of us. That is the truest thing you have ever said, Clint mumbled. Mia gasped. See? You talked. I knew you could do it. You just need to practice talking nice. I do not need practice talking. I have been talking for 96 years. Then how come you only use your words to say mean things to people? You can say nice things too. Like Mia, That is a very pretty drawing. See? It is easy. Clint sighed. It is a pretty drawing. Mia grinned. Was that so hard? Yes, Clint grumbled. Hey, why do you not have any pictures on your walls? My mommy puts all my drawings on our refrigerator. She says that is how you know a house has love in it. Your giant house does not have any pictures. That is why it feels so cold and empty. You ask way too many questions. Clint coughed. Suddenly, Clint started to cough very hard. His whole body shook in the wheelchair. Mr. Clint, are you okay? Mia asked. You are coughing really bad. I am fine. Go away. Do not fuss over me. No, you are not fine. You are shaking. Here, give me your hand. Mia reached out. I do not need your. Do not be scared, Mia said softly. She took his large, wrinkled hand in her tiny, soft one. My mommy gets scared sometimes too, when she is sad about money. But I hold her hand, and she always feels better. See? Just hold on. Clint stopped coughing. He looked down at their hands. Your hands are so small. But they work, Mia smiled. My mommy says the size of your hand does not matter. It is who is holding on to you that matters. Clint felt a strange feeling in his chest. You are a strange little girl. You are not a mean man, Mia said. You are just a very sad man. My mommy is sad too sometimes. How can you possibly know that I am sad? Clint asked. Because truly mean people do not keep drawings on their laps. You still have the drawing I made you yesterday. I saw you looking at it when you thought nobody was watching. Clint quickly pulled his hand away. I was not looking at it. I was just... It is okay. You do not have to explain it to me. Here, I made you a brand new one today. Mia pulled a paper from her pocket. It is the exact same picture, but this time, I drew you with a big smile. See? I used the bright orange crayon. Clint stared at the paper. I am smiling? Yep, I drew it that way because I think that is what you look like when nobody is watching you. Clint's eyes watered. You do not know anything about me. I know you keep a secret picture on your table that you will not let anyone see. I know you twist that little gold ring on your finger when you are thinking about something that makes you sad. And I know nobody ever comes to visit you except me and my mommy. Clint looked down at his hands. That is enough to know, Mia said. Okay, I have to go now. But I taped the new drawing to your wall, right where you can see it from your big bed. See you tomorrow, Mr. Clint. Mia skipped out of the room. Later that day, Mrs. Higgins grabbed Sarah's arm in the hallway. Sarah, you need to come see something right now. What is it, Mrs. Higgins? Is he mad at me? No, he is crying. Sarah peeked around the doorframe. Clint Eastwood was sitting in his wheelchair. He was staring at the drawing of him smiling on the wall. He was twisting his gold ring. Tears were running down his wrinkled cheeks. I have worked in this giant house for 12 years, Mrs. Higgins whispered. I have never, not once, seen that tough man shed a single tear. Mia is doing something nobody else could ever do. I do not know what kind of magic she has, but I have never seen anything like it. Sarah smiled. She just loves people. That is her magic. Sarah, it has been a whole month now. Has he yelled at you about your coffee lately? Not once, Sarah said. He drank it this morning, and he actually said fine. That is the nicest word he has said to me since I moved in here. He asked me to open one of the curtains in the hallway yesterday, Mrs. Higgins said, shaking her head. Just one curtain. But still, light. In this dark house. I almost dropped my tray of tea. That evening, Mia tugged on Sarah's shirt. Mommy, Mr. Clint asked me to bring extra crayons tomorrow morning. He said he wants to try drawing a picture too. He said something is changing inside this big house. I can feel it in the walls. I can feel it too, baby. Sarah hugged her. Suddenly, all the lights in the house went dark. The wind howled outside. Mrs. Higgins, the power went out on the whole street, Sarah yelled in the dark. Crash! A loud noise came from upstairs. Oh no, Mr. Eastwood, Sarah yelled. She grabbed a flashlight and ran up the huge stairs. She burst into his room. Mr. Eastwood! Mr. Eastwood! He was lying on the floor. His wheelchair was tipped over. He was holding his chest. He was gasping for air. "My chest," Clint gasped. "Cannot breathe." Sarah dropped to her knees. "Clint, stay with me. Stay with me. I need you to stay awake. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. Breathe with me. Please stay awake." Sarah pulled out her cell phone. She dialed his son's number. "Ring, ring. Hello, you have reached Marcus Eastwood. Leave a message." "Marcus, your father collapsed. He is on the floor. His heart is stopping." "Call me back," Sarah yelled into the phone. She dialed the second son, Leo. "Ring, ring. Hi, this is Leo. I am busy right now." She dialed his daughter-in-law, Jessica. "Ring, ring. Leave a message." Not one person answered, Sarah cried. She dialed 911. A robot voice answered. "All emergency phone lines are busy due to the severe storm. Please hold." No, we cannot wait," Sarah yelled. She looked at the old man. He was turning gray. "Mr. Eastwood, I am picking you up." "Put your arm over my shoulder. You weigh almost nothing. Just hold on to me." Sarah used all her strength. She lifted the famous actor off the floor. She carried him on her back down the long, dark staircase. The wind was screaming outside. The rain was pouring down. She carried him out the front door and laid him in the back seat of her old, rusty car. "Stay with me, Clint," she prayed. She drove as fast as she could through the flooded streets. Trees were falling down, but she did not stop until she reached the hospital. Hours later, the doctor walked into the waiting room. "I am his worker," Sarah said. She was soaking wet. Her gray uniform was covered in mud. "I pushed on his chest for 5 minutes. Then I drove him here in the giant storm. There was no power. The ambulance phone line was broken. His family did not answer." The doctor looked at her with wide eyes. 5 more minutes and he would have died. You saved his life. "Is he okay?" "He is stable." "Ma'am, you have been standing out in this cold hallway for 2 hours. Please sit down. Let me get you a dry towel." "I cannot sit down until I know he is safe," Sarah said softly. Inside the hospital room, Clint opened his eyes. A nurse was checking his machines. "Nurse? That woman in the hallway," Clint whispered weakly. "The one wearing the wet gray dress. Is she still standing out there?" "Your worker?" "Yes, sir. She has been standing out there all night long. She carried you down the stairs in the dark. In a terrible storm. She carried you like you weighed nothing. She drove through a giant flood to get you here." Clint looked at the door. "She reminds me of someone, that is what I keep thinking. She reminds me of someone I tried very, very hard to forget." The next morning, Clint's family finally arrived. Marcus, his oldest son, wore a very expensive suit. Leo, his youngest son, was looking at his phone. Marcus's wife, Jessica, was wearing perfect makeup and beautiful jewelry. They also brought a man in a black suit holding a briefcase. Sarah and Mia sat in the waiting room. Mia looked through the glass window. "Mommy, is this the waiting room?" Mia asked. "Yes, baby." Inside the room, Marcus was talking to the lawyer. "I need to speak with someone about his money. My father is Clint Eastwood. Room 412. The doctor frowned. "Sir, your father almost died last night. His heart stopped. Would you like to go hug him first?" Marcus shook his head. "No, the legal money stuff is very important right now. Who handles the will and the house papers at this hospital?" Outside, Mia watched them. "Mommy, I can see them through the glass window. That man in the suit is standing by Mr. Clint's bed, but he has his arms crossed. The pretty lady Jessica is pretending to wipe her eyes, but her makeup is not even messed up, and the other man is just playing a game on his cell phone." Sarah pulled Mia close. "Come sit with me, baby." "Mommy, why are they not hugging him? When you get sick, I always hug you." "Some people do not know how to show love, Mia." Mia looked sad. "Baby, that is the saddest thing I have ever heard." A few hours later, the doctor came out. "Miss Jenkins, he is allowed to go home now. I am letting you drive him." "Where is his family?" Sarah asked. "Marcus already left. He said he had an important business meeting. Jessica and Leo are driving their own fancy cars. But I would not count on them staying at the ranch for long." Back at the big ranch, Clint was sitting in his wheelchair in his room. The sun was shining through one open curtain. "Sit down, Sarah," Clint said. "I am fine standing, Mr. Eastwood." "I said sit down. This is the first time I have ever asked you to sit in a chair. Do not make me ask you twice." Sarah slowly sat down. Clint opened a drawer and pulled out a shiny checkbook. "I want you to tell me a number." "A number?" Sarah asked. "A dollar amount. How much money do you want?" "Whatever you want, I will write it down. You saved my life last night. People get paid big money for things like that. Name your price." Sarah shook her head. "I do not want your money, Mr. Eastwood." "Do not lie to me. Everyone wants money. Your daughter Mia needs a safe roof over her head. That is all you need. You already gave us a safe roof when you hired me for this job, sir. I do not need a check." Clint stared at her. "That is your answer? No dollar amount? No arguing for more?" "That is my answer, sir." Clint closed his eyes. "Everyone wants something from me. In 96 years, I have never met a single person who did not want to take something from me. Now, finally, I have." Sarah smiled a little. "By the way, your coffee this morning, it was fine." Clint smiled back. "I am sorry I called it dirt. It was fine. And when Mia comes by after her breakfast, tell her she can come inside if she wants to." "She will want to," Sarah laughed. "That child does not listen to anyone's rules. She gets that stubbornness from me." "I noticed," Clint chuckled. "You know, in 96 years, I have written giant checks to hospitals. I have written checks to colleges. I have given money to politicians. I have bought people's silence. I have bought fake friends. I have bought extra time. But not one of those rich people sat on a cold hospital floor in a wet uniform all night long just because they were worried about an old man. Not one." "That is because they just wanted your money, Mr. Eastwood," Sarah said softly. "I just wanted you to be okay." "You say that like it is a very small thing," Clint said. "It is a small thing to care about someone." "No," Clint said. "That is what makes it real." Over the next week, things changed at the ranch. Mr. Davies, the lawyer, came to visit Clint 4 times. Mrs. Higgins whispered to Sarah in the kitchen, "The lawyer is here again. What do they talk about inside that room?" "I do not ask," Sarah said while chopping carrots. "But I can hear them through the heavy door." Inside the room, Clint was yelling, "Change everything, Mr. Davies. All of it. Every single line of my will." "Clint, these are huge changes," Mr. Davies said nervously. "What about your children?" "Marcus and Leo will be furious." "My children did not even answer their cell phones when I was dying on the floor in the dark," Clint shouted. "Change it. All of it." Mrs. Higgins poured tea. "And every time the lawyer leaves, Jessica calls the house on the phone. Every single time, just like a clock ticking." "What does Jessica want?" Sarah asked. "She wants to know what Clint is putting in his new will. She wants to know who gets the money. I always tell her he is sleeping and cannot take the call. She gets very angry when I say that." Mrs. Higgins looked around the kitchen to make sure they were alone. "Sarah, something else is going on. That locked door down the long hallway, the one I told you never to open, it was open today. You did not go inside, did you?" Sarah gasped. "I just peeked in," Mrs. Higgins whispered. "There is a very old picture on the wall inside that room. It is a picture of a poor woman in a farm dress. She is wearing a gold chain necklace, and hanging on that chain is a ring, a small, cheap gold ring. Sarah, it is the exact same ring Mr. Eastwood wears on his finger, the one he always twists when he is sad, the one that looks too cheap for a famous, rich movie star." "Who is the woman in the picture?" Sarah asked. "I do not know, but that door is supposed to stay closed." "Mrs. Higgins, your eyes look different. You look scared. What are you scared of?" "I have kept this giant house running for 12 years by never asking questions. I think you should do the same." But Sarah had another worry. "Something else is bothering me, Mrs. Higgins. Jessica has been visiting every night this week. She brings Clint his evening medicine in a little black leather bag. She says she is helping, but I give him his morning pills. I know what his heart medicine looks like. She is his family. She is allowed to help." "No, listen to me," Sarah said. "Since Jessica started bringing his night pills, he is getting very sick again. His hands are shaking worse than before. He sleeps all day. His skin looks gray. I am sure the doctor knows about it, Mrs. Higgins said. Are you sure? Because my daughter Mia told me something last night that I cannot stop thinking about. What did Mia say? She said, Mommy, why does the pretty lady Jessica smile at Mr. Clint with her mouth, but her eyes look so mean? Children notice everything, Mrs. Higgins. They see the truth. Yes, they do, Mrs. Higgins nodded slowly. A lawyer rewriting all the money papers, a hidden secret picture of a poor woman with his gold ring, and pills that make him sleep all day. Something is very, very wrong in this house, Mrs. Higgins. Later that evening, Jessica came to the house. She went into the bathroom and left her black leather bag on the counter. Sarah sneaked into the bathroom. I have to look, she whispered to herself. She opened the bag. She pulled out the medicine bottles. Heart medicine, 5 milligrams. Sarah read the label. No, this is wrong. His real doctor's paper says he needs 20 milligrams for his heart. I give it to him every single morning. I know exactly what the big pills look like. These pills from Jessica are tiny. They are only a quarter of what he needs to keep his heart beating strong. Sarah looked deeper in the bag. What is this? She pulled out a second bottle. It had no label, no name, no doctor's note, nothing, just strange white pills. Oh my goodness, 3 months, Sarah gasped. Jessica has been coming here for 3 months. She has been giving him weak heart pills, so his heart gets worse. And she has been giving him these mystery pills to make him sleep all day. That is why he was dying. That is why his hands shake. Sarah took out her cell phone. She took clear pictures of both bottles. Then she quickly put them back in the black bag, exactly how she found them. She ran to her room and locked the door. She dialed the phone. Dr. Robinson's office, a lady answered. I need to speak to Dr. Robinson right now. It is an emergency about Clint Eastwood. I am his worker, Sarah Jenkins. A minute later, the doctor picked up. Miss Jenkins? What is wrong? Doctor, I know I am just a maid, and I am sorry to bother you, but something is very wrong with his medicine. The pills his son's wife brings every night, they are not the right size. They are too small. Are you a nurse, Miss Jenkins? The doctor asked in a grumpy voice. No, sir. I am just a maid who cleans floors, but I give him his morning pills every day. I know what a 20 milligram heart pill looks like. Jessica's pills are only 5 milligrams, and there is a second bottle in her bag with no label at all. Miss Jenkins, his family handles his night medicine. I am sure it is fine. He was getting so much better after the hospital storm. He was eating real food. He was talking to my daughter. He was laughing for the very first time. Then Jessica started bringing his night pills again. In just 2 weeks, he went right back to dying. His skin is gray. He sleeps 14 hours a day. You can come take his blood to test it, or you can wait until he is dead. But I am telling you the truth. Something is wrong. The doctor was quiet for a long time. Finally, he said, I will send a nurse to take his blood first thing tomorrow morning. Do not tell anyone. Thank you, doctor. The next evening, Jessica stormed into the kitchen. Her face was red with anger. The zipper on my medicine bag. It was closed when I went to the bathroom. Now it is slightly open. Someone went through my bag. Jessica glared at Sarah. Good evening, Mrs. Eastwood, Sarah said calmly while washing a dish. Mrs. Higgins moved your bag when she was cleaning the sink. She probably bumped the zipper. Do not lie to me, you dirty maid, Jessica screamed. You went through my private things. You opened it and you looked inside. Sarah stopped washing the dish. She turned around and looked Jessica right in the eye. Those are not his real pills, Jessica. Excuse me? Jessica stepped back. His real heart medicine is 20 milligrams. The tiny pills in your bag are only 5. You have been giving him a quarter of his medicine for 3 months. And that second bottle, the one with no label? That is not heart medicine at all, is it? That is something to make him sleep and never wake up. You have no idea what you are talking about, Jessica yelled. You are a nobody. You are a maid who cleans toilets. You can barely read a medicine bottle. Who is going to believe you over me? I am rich. The doctor might believe me, Sarah said bravely. When the blood test results come back tomorrow, Jessica's face turned pale white. What blood test? The one Dr. Robinson ordered this morning. You? You called his heart doctor? You told him that Jessica was shaking with rage. He was finally getting better. He was happy. Then you started bringing those bad pills, and he started dying again. Jessica pointed a sharp fingernail at Sarah's face. I will have you fired today. Do you understand me? I will make sure no job agency in this whole state ever gives you a job again. You and that annoying little girl will be sleeping in your rusty car by tomorrow night. Just then, Mia walked into the kitchen holding her crayons. Mommy? Mia, baby, go back to your room right now, Sarah said softly. I heard the pretty lady yelling, Mia said, looking at Jessica. She said we have to sleep in our car. Why is she so mean? Sarah knelt down and hugged Mia tightly. Come here, baby. Come here. Mommy, is the mean lady going to make us leave our nice room? Sarah glared up at Jessica. Nobody is making us leave. I promise you that. The next morning, the phone rang. Sarah picked it up. Miss Jenkins, this is Dr. Robinson. Are the results in? Sarah asked, her heart beating fast. You were right, the doctor said, his voice shaking. How bad is it? His heart medicine levels in his blood are only at 30% of what they should be to keep him alive. And we found bad medicine in his blood, a strong sleeping drug that I never ordered. Someone has been purposely making his heart weak and drugging him to keep him quiet and close to death. Sarah covered her mouth. Oh my God. I have already called the police. Detectives are driving to the ranch right now. An hour later, loud sirens wailed up the driveway. 4 police cars stopped at the front door. Police officers rushed inside. Marcus, Leo, and Jessica had just arrived to check on Clint. What is this? Why are police officers in our private house? Marcus yelled. Marcus, tell them they cannot just walk in here, Jessica cried. A tall detective walked up to Jessica. Jessica Eastwood, I am Detective Smith. I have a paper that says I can arrest you. Arrest me? For what? Jessica screamed. For hurting a sick old man, 3 counts of doing it on purpose, and for changing a doctor's medicine illegally. This is a giant mistake, Jessica cried, looking at Marcus. I was just helping take care of his medicine. I was helping him. She is lying, Marcus yelled at the police. She is a good wife. That maid over there is the one lying. For goodness sake, who are you going to believe? A rich family or a maid off the street? We believe the hospital blood test, Detective Smith said coldly. Ma'am, turn around, please. Put your hands behind your back. Do not touch me, Jessica shrieked. Do you know how much money my husband makes? Turn around now, the officer said loudly. He clicked the shiny metal handcuffs on her wrists. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Marcus! Marcus, do something! Jessica screamed as they dragged her out the door. Marcus stared at his hands. He looked sick. You did this, he whispered to Sarah. You walked into my family's house and ruined everything. She almost killed your father, Sarah said fiercely. He is 96 years old, Marcus yelled. He was going to die anyway. What does it matter? Suddenly, Clint's deep voice echoed from the hallway. He was sitting in his wheelchair. Mrs. Higgins was pushing him. How long? Clint asked. His voice was broken. How long has she been giving me bad pills, Marcus? Marcus looked at the floor. I did not know, Dad. I swear to God, I did not know she was doing that. How long? Clint yelled. The doctor said 3 months, sir, the detective said gently. 3 whole months, Clint cried, and not one of my own sons noticed. None of you were ever here to check on me. You were too busy. You had fancy business meetings, you had expensive dinners, you had fun lives to live. And your father was locked in a dark room, being poisoned by the woman who sat at our table for Thanksgiving dinner. Dad, please let me explain, Leo started to say. Do not say a word, Clint held up his shaking hand. Marcus, you asked the lawyer about my money while I was dying in the hospital bed. You walked right past the poor maid who carried me through a flood to save my life, just so you could ask about my bank account. Dad, we do not get to talk right now, Clint said firmly. You just get to leave. Marcus and Leo slowly walked out the door. They looked ashamed. Clint sat in his chair. He looked older and sadder than ever. Sarah, come here. Sarah walked over to him. "Mr. Eastwood, I am so sorry. I heard everything." "You do not have to say it," Clint whispered. "Everyone in this giant house wanted something from me. My sons wanted my money. My lawyers wanted my fame. My doctors wanted my checks. But you just wanted a safe room for your little girl. That is all you ever asked for. You are the only person in 50 years who actually wanted me to live." The next morning, the sun was shining brightly. "Sarah, push my wheelchair," Clint said. "Do not take me to the kitchen. Take me to the long hallway, the very end." Sarah's eyes went wide. "The locked door? Mrs. Higgins said you have not been in that room for 10 years. "I know. Take me there right now, please." Sarah pushed the chair. The wooden floor creaked. They stopped in front of the heavy locked door. "My hands are shaking too much," Clint said. "The brass key is in my left pocket. Get it out." Sarah reached into his pocket and pulled out the old key. She slid it into the lock and turned it. Click. She pushed the door open. The room was dusty but beautiful. The curtains were open, letting the sun shine on one single picture hanging on the wall. It was the picture Mrs. Higgins had seen. A young, poor woman in a worn-out dress. She was wearing a cheap gold ring on a chain around her neck. Clint stared at the picture. Tears filled his old eyes. "Mr. Eastwood, who is she?" Sarah asked softly. "Her name was Clara," Clint said, his voice trembling. "She was my mother." Sarah gasped. "Your mother?" "I was born in a tiny, dirt-poor farming town in 1930. My mother was a farm worker. She picked vegetables in the blazing hot sun. She scrubbed floors for rich people. She washed their dirty clothes. And the man who was my father, he was a rich farm owner. He never married her. He never even told anyone I was his son. When his rich family found out about us, they told her to leave town and never come back." "Where did she go?" Sarah asked, her heart breaking. "She went to a dirty little room in a big city. She raised me all by herself. She worked 3 jobs, cleaning, cooking, sewing holes in old socks. She never complained. Not one single time. She never asked anyone for free help." Sarah looked closely at the picture. "The ring on her necklace. That is the ring you wear, isn't it?" Clint touched the small gold ring on his finger. "Yes, she bought this cheap ring at a pawn shop for $2. $2? That was a whole week's pay for her back then. She wore it on her necklace and told people she was a widow, but she was never married. She married herself, Sarah. She stood in front of a broken mirror in that tiny room, put this cheap ring on her chain, and promised herself she would give me a better life." Tears rolled down Clint's cheeks. And she did. She worked her fingers to the bone every single day, without any help, without anyone telling her she was doing a good job. "She sounds like the bravest, strongest woman I have ever heard of," Sarah whispered. "She was," Clint cried, "and I threw her away." "Mr. Eastwood, what do you mean?" Clint looked down in shame. "I left that poor town when I was 18 years old. I went to Hollywood. I became a famous cowboy actor. I made millions of dollars. I bought fancy cars and huge ranches, and I never, not once, told anyone where I really came from. Not the newspapers, not my fancy wives, not my rich children, not a single soul." "You hid her?" Sarah asked in shock. "I hid her," Clint sobbed. "When she got very sick, I just sent her a check in the mail. I did not go visit her. When she died all alone in that tiny room, I sent expensive flowers. But I did not go to her funeral. I was ashamed of my own mother, the woman who gave me everything I had. I was ashamed of her because she was poor, and I wanted people to think I was a tough man who never needed help from anyone." Sarah wiped a tear from her own eye. "Mr. Eastwood, when you walked into this huge house, looking for a job to save your daughter—" "I saw her," Clint said, looking at Sarah. "I saw my mother. Your cheap gray uniform. Your tired working hands. The way you hold your head up high when people try to push you down. You are exactly who my mother was. And Mia," Clint smiled through his tears, "Mia is who I should have been. That little girl is not ashamed of anything. She walks into a dark room and loves people, without asking if it is okay. She sits on the hard floor and draws happy pictures of a grumpy old man in a wheelchair and calls him her best friend." Sarah smiled. She does. That is exactly who she is. Do you know what my mother used to tell me every night before I went to sleep? Clint asked. She would say, Clint, do not ever let anyone tell you that you are less than them. Do you hear me? You are not less than anyone. Clint put his face in his hands. And I grew up and spent my whole rich life telling myself that she was less than me, my own beautiful mother. You were scared, Sarah said gently. She put her hand on his shoulder. You were just an 18-year-old boy trying to survive in a tough world. A world that would have made fun of you if they knew the truth. That does not make you a bad person. That makes you human. Clint looked up. You are crying too. I know. Sarah laughed a little while wiping her face. I cannot seem to stop crying. I haven't cried in, God, how long has it been? It does not matter how long it has been, Sarah said. It only matters that you are doing it right now. Clint took a deep breath. I do not deserve what you did for me, Sarah. I do not deserve how kind you are, but I am going to spend the rest of my time trying to earn it. That afternoon, Mr. Davies, the lawyer, arrived again. Mr. Davies, I need you here right now. Bring all the big papers, Clint said over the phone. Which papers, Clint? All of them, every single one. And leave the office door wide open. I want Sarah to hear every single word. Mr. Davies sat at the big desk. He opened his briefcase. First rule, Clint said loudly. A full school bank account for Mia Jenkins. Elementary school, high school, and college. Every single dollar must be covered by my money. Her books, her classes, her food, her dorm room, all of it. She will never, ever have to choose between eating a hot meal and buying a school book. Sarah gasped from the hallway. Second rule, Clint continued, the huge guest house on the east side of my ranch. It has 3 bedrooms, a big kitchen, and a beautiful flower garden. I want that house put into Sarah Jenkins's name today. It is not a rental. It is not a loan. She owns it forever. No more landlords, no more eviction papers on her door. Not for her, not ever again. Sarah covered her mouth and started to cry happily. And the third rule, Clint said, the entire east side of this giant mansion. The rooms we never use. I want them changed into a free school and safe house for single mothers who have no money. Free daycare, free hot meals, free doctors. I want to help mothers who are struggling, just like my mother did. Mr. Davies dropped his pen. Clint, that is a massive project. It will cost millions of dollars. What would you like to call this place? Clara's house, Clint said proudly. In memory of Clara Eastwood, the bravest woman I ever knew. She gave everything she had and asked for nothing in return. Are you sure about this, Clint? The lawyer asked. Your sons will be very angry. Clint pointed out the window. Look out that glass window, Mr. Davies. Do you see that little 3-year-old girl lying in the green grass with her crayons? Mr. Davies looked. Mia was drawing a picture of a yellow sun. Her mother packed everything they owned in 2 cheap bags 6 months ago, Clint said. 2 bags? That tiny child only had 3 old shirts and 1 flower dress that was way too short for her, and she walked right into my pitch-black room, sat on my floor, and called me her friend. I have never been more sure of anything in my entire 96 years of life. A year later. Mr. Clint, look at all the people on the grass, Mia yelled. She was 4 years old now. She was wearing a beautiful new dress with bright pink flowers. Mia stood on the front porch of the mansion next to Clint in his wheelchair. They are standing everywhere, Mia pointed. Some of them have little babies. That lady over by the tree is holding 2 kids at the exact same time, Mrs. Higgins said. There are 43 people here today. Why are they all here, Mia? Clint asked with a big smile. Because this is their new house now. See that giant sign above the big door? It says Clara's house, a safe place for mothers and children. Do you know who Clara was? Clint asked softly. She was your mommy, Mia said proudly. She was a hard worker, just like my mommy. And this big building is for moms who need a little help. Are all these people coming to play at your house? Clint laughed out loud. It was a rich, happy sound. Our house, Mia. I like the sound of that much better. A lady with a microphone walked up to the porch. Mr. Eastwood, you agreed to do 1 short interview for the news on TV. Can you tell the people watching at home why you decided to build Clara's house?" Clint looked at the camera. He looked strong and peaceful. "My mother was a poor farm worker named Clara. She raised me all by herself when nobody else would help her. I spent my whole famous life pretending she did not exist because I was a foolish, proud man." Clint looked down at Mia. "And then, a tiny little girl walked into my room one day and asked me why I was so sad. That is the exact moment I realized I had been sad for 96 years. I was hiding from the truth." The reporter smiled. "One last question, Mr. Eastwood. Your amazing story has been seen by millions of people. What do you want people to learn from your story?" Clint looked at Sarah, who was standing nearby holding a tray of cookies for the kids. "I want people to know that staying strong matters," Clint said to the camera. "And I want them to know that the people who clean your dirty floors, wash your old clothes, and take care of your children, they are not invisible people. They matter. They have always mattered." The crowd of mothers on the grass clapped and cheered. Suddenly, Marcus walked up the steps. He looked very nervous. He was not wearing a fancy suit today. He was wearing normal jeans and a t-shirt. "Dad," Marcus said quietly. "Marcus," Clint nodded. "I walked through the new building. I saw the big picture of Clara on the wall. Grandma Clara, I never even knew she existed." "I am sorry for that, son," Clint said. "That was my mistake. I am sorry I never asked you about your past, Dad. I am sorry I cared more about the money than I cared about you." Marcus looked down. "I want to help. I do not know how to be a good person yet, but I want to try to help." Clint pointed to the building. "Every Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, we need someone to sit in the library and read storybooks to the little children while their mothers go to job interviews. Can you do that?" Marcus nodded quickly. "I will be here every single Saturday. Not just when it is easy for you," Clint said sternly. "Not just when your busy schedule allows it. Every Saturday. Every Saturday, Dad. I promise." Nearby, Mrs. Higgins wiped a tear from her eye. Sarah hugged her. "Mrs. Higgins, are you okay?" Sarah asked. "I have worked in this giant house for 12 long years, Sarah. I watched 14 angry workers walk out that front door because of that grumpy man. And now, look, there are 43 happy mothers standing on his green lawn. There are children laughing and playing tag in his long hallway, and he is sitting on the sunny porch with a crayon drawing on his lap, smiling." Mrs. Higgins shook her head in amazement. 12 years, Sarah. I never thought I would live to see a day like this." "You stayed too, Mrs. Higgins," Sarah smiled. "Through all those hard years, you never left him." Mrs. Higgins smiled back. "I suppose I did. I suppose everyone needs someone to stay with them, even when they are hard to love." Later that afternoon, Clint and Mia were sitting on the porch watching the sunset. "Mr. Clint, I cannot say this big word in my book," Mia frowned. Reluctantly. What does that mean?" Clint adjusted his glasses. "It means doing something even though you really do not want to do it. Like when your mother makes you eat all your green broccoli." "Exactly like that," Mia giggled. Sarah called out from the open kitchen window. "I can hear you two out there. You know your broccoli with cheese was delicious, Mia." "Mommy, look!" Mia pointed. The warm sun is shining right on Mr. Clint's face. He looks like he is glowing with light. "The dark curtains are all open now," Clint smiled, looking up at the sky. "Every single one in the whole house. I can see the beautiful garden from here." "My tall tomato plants are getting so big," Sarah said, walking out onto the porch. "I talked to them this morning. I told them to grow faster so we can eat them." Clint laughed. "She talks to the garden plants every morning in her pajamas, Mia. She gets that crazy habit from you." "I talk to the plants?" Sarah defended herself, laughing. "I talk to everything that needs a little bit of encouragement to grow." "Mr. Clint, do you like the new pictures my mommy put on the wall?" Mia asked. "I love them," Clint said. "Your picture of your grandma Clara. She is right next to the picture of you blowing out your 4 birthday candles. Where did the time go? And my funny paper crown from the Christmas party is in a frame too," Mia cheered. "You made me wear that silly paper crown for 3 whole hours," Clint grumbled playfully. "You looked very handsome in it," Sarah laughed. "I looked completely ridiculous," Clint said. "Same thing, Mr. Clint. Mia giggled. Hey, do you remember what you told me the very first day I walked into your dark room? Clint thought for a moment. You asked me why it was so dark and sad in my room, and I yelled at you to go find your mother. I did, Mia said, and then I sat right down on your expensive rug and drew you a happy picture. You certainly did. Do you know why I did not run away when you yelled? Mia asked, looking up at him with big, innocent eyes. Because you are as stubborn as a mule, Clint teased. No, Mia said softly. Because you looked like you really needed a good friend. And my mommy says I am really good at being a friend. Clint felt a lump in his throat. He reached out and patted her small head. You are, Mia. You are the absolute best friend I have ever had in my whole long life. Better than your fancy Hollywood friends? I did not have any real friends in Hollywood, Mia. Not true ones. Not until you walked in. Sarah smiled from the doorway. Okay, Mia. Come inside now and wash your hands for dinner. Let Mr. Clint rest before we eat. Just one more minute, Mommy. Just 1 minute. Mia leaned against Clint's wheelchair. Mr. Clint, your secret picture is not laying face down on the table anymore. I noticed. No, it is not, Clint said proudly. She is looking out at the bright room now. My mother is right where she always should have been. In the light. And my crayon drawing is still taped right next to it, Mia cheered. The tape is getting a little yellow, though. Your drawing that says, my friend Clint. Clint smiled. You wrote that the very first day you walked in here. I told you to go away, and you sat on my floor and drew that picture. And you never left me alone. I kept coming back because we are best friends, Mia said. You kept coming back because you are the bravest person I have ever met, Clint said softly. You walked right into a scary, dark room, and you refused to leave a sad old man by himself. Do you know how rare that is, Mia? To just stay? It was not brave. Mia shrugged her small shoulders. I just did not want you to be sitting alone in the dark. Clint wiped a single happy tear from his eye. That is the bravest thing there is in this whole world. Mia looked up at him. Mr. Clint, are you happy now? Clint looked at the giant yard full of playing children. He looked at the warm sun setting over the trees. He listened to Sarah humming a happy song in the kitchen. I do not know, Clint whispered. I forgot what true happiness feels like for a very long time. It feels like this right here, Mia said, spreading her arms wide. You and me sitting on the warm porch, the sun shining on your face, and my mommy making noisy sounds with the pots and pans in the kitchen. Clint closed his eyes and took a deep breath of the fresh garden air. If it feels like this, then yes. Yes, I think I am very happy, Mia. I am glad I did not leave you, Mia smiled. So am I, child, Clint whispered, holding her tiny hand. So am I. If this story touched something deep inside your heart today, please share it with someone you love. Tell me in the comments below, who is the brave person in your life who stayed by your side when everyone else walked away? Because sometimes, the people who seem the hardest to love are the ones who need your love the most.